Hi guys, it's Emily from Novelle Novels and welcome to today's video. This is my October favourites. Now this is going to be fun because I'm recording on the Wednesday and the film goes up on the Friday. And luckily it's half term, but my darling in-laws have got the children, so I've got some time to record in peace. Although this is take two because the cat decided to nearly break my camera while I was filming the last one. So let's get started. So, as always, I have my candy notes to check by. But the number of books I bought this month was 22. Now, a bit more than last month, but I must admit I needed it because I've had a bit of a rough month with the books I've read this month. It's not been the best, and you'll see on the wrap-up that I've not really had a great time with it, so the books have helped. And something that affected the amount of books I bought was I went out with Charlie. It was her birthday this month and we had a lovely shopping trip, and it's not her fault, but seriously, when we go shopping, she is so inspiring. I love my sister with all my heart, and she inspired me to pick up some fantastic books, and I just really loved it. We went to the coffee shop, we had a great time. But yes, my book number of buyings did increase. This has also included 3 books that I ordered on Amazon, so kind of it was like 19 books, but because technically Chris paid for 3 of them, but you know, we're a partnership. I go in on that, and like I said, I needed it this month. So yeah, one of my favourite events was going out shopping with Charlie. It was absolutely amazing. It was lovely to have time together. Hopefully this next month we're going to have a few more. I'm going to go to her house, look at her books, which I can't wait for, and we're going to go out together because I love time with my sister. She's amazing. And me and Vicky are going to hopefully do something else. Now, the other thing that I went out with my mummy, which was fantastic. We went to town as well. She bought a load of Christmas presents. I sort of like saw some ideas for other people that I wanted to get. And yes, I did buy another couple of books, but I tried to be good because we were out with mum, and I know she's not the biggest into book buying like I am, but we still had a fantastic time. Now, as I'm recording this, like I said, it's half term. I'm going off the rocker with everything with my children. They're fantastic, but we've had a few challenges. We've had kids parties. We've had my daughter had a really bad virus this month, so she was really poorly for a few days, which meant everything kind of all our plans went a bit AWOL. Someone with my mental health found that really challenging, and seeing her throwing up and being ill just literally broke my heart. So that's been a hard sort of start to this week, end of this week, which was not what I wanted. But she's all better now, guys, don't worry. But it has meant that I've wanted to have a bit more mental health time, and interesting. But it does lead on to the fact that one of the favourite things I did this month was to take the kids to the park. Sounds really silly, guys, that this is a favourite event, but we took them to the park. It was just me and my 2 children, and we went for the longer route round to the park near my mum's house, and we kicked leaves, which sounds really silly. But growing up, we used to love going to fields, throwing leaves at each other, having leaf fights, being silly. My kids were playing together on the roundabouts, on the seesaws, and the park was empty, which was really weird considering, like, when I was growing up, the parks were always full and buzzing. And so they got to just sort of have the park to themselves, which was great. Thomas's confidence, watching him climb the climbing frame, doing things that he'd never done before. Mia going loopy-loopies around, going upside down the roundabout and proving the fact she was determined to prove to me she was better now. But it was great having fun with them and throwing leaves with them. And to be honest, that's probably the best bit of half term, was spending time with them and being silly, really. I've loved it. This goes out, it's going out the day after Halloween, and I'm taking them trick-or-treating. I will probably post a picture. I try not to post my pictures on Instagram if my children, but I think for Halloween I will, because you guys will want to see what they're like. Thomas is going to be a ghost. Mia's got like a spider dress, and we're going to draw some spider webs on her face and make her into a proper spider web. So trick-or-treating with them is going to be a favourite. On a health side, it's going to be challenging for me because it's on a Thursday, so I would have worked all day. My knee will probably be killing me. I'm going to potentially have to take my crutches out with me, which I'm not looking forward to, but that will be challenging. I think, even though it's my favourites, you know I'm real about who I am, so it will be a favourite event, but it will probably kill me off. So watch out, guys, when I'm recording my wrap-up video. I may be recording it the next day with my legs up, going with crutches right near me, or that'll be interesting. And the kids will be in that one, by the way, just to warn you. But anyway, those are my favourite events. Like I said, a bit weird the way I've ended that bit. Next thing is my favourite channels. Now, I find this really hard each month because to pick favourite channels is really hard. I wanted to tell you guys some very different channels. And I'd love to talk about the same channels all over and over again because I've got so many friends that I could talk about on here all the time. But there are some backstage friends, some friends on here that I don't talk to all the time, but I still like. They're still amazing, and I wanted to tell you about them. Now, the first one is Chloe from Chloe Reads Things. I have watched her videos before I joined BookTube. She was one of the first channels I actually subscribed to. She has got a really great variety of books. Now, she inspired me to pick up my favourite book, which is A Curse of Dark and Lonely. It was down to her that I actually wanted to read that because she talked about it. She talked about the Beauty and the Beast context of the fact that it was the backstage, and it's down to her that I picked that up. So that alone makes me want to rave about her. But she was on here the other day, on her channel the other day, and saying that she doesn't have as many subscribers as she wanted, and she didn't know. And I thought, do you know what, guys? I want to shout out to her. She's a lovely girl. She's been doing this longer than me, and she really deserves you checking out her channel. She reads a lot of thrillers, so she's friends a lot with Nicole and Simone. She's got good taste, obviously, with those guys, because I love them both. But she's brilliant. So I really recommend you try out her channel. The next one is actually another friend that's linked into Nicole and Simone, Kaz from Cats and Camera. She is brilliant. Cats in the title, you know I'm going to love her. I love my cats. Although, like I said, they're a bit disreputable, whatever that word is. But she is brilliant. She is so artistic. She's photographic. Yes, we have quite a different range of books. We like very different ones. But I still love her videos. I love how honest she is. I love her creative side. She's inspired me to change up my sort of my little planner for next year. Oh my goodness, I will have to show you. But she is so inspirational, and she's a lovely lady. We're doing our first ever buddy read of Noughts and Crosses in January. Now, I know she's buddy read a lot with Simone, which gives me hope that she's going to be amazing. Already love her, but she is such a lovely, warm lady. She comments on all my videos. She comments back if you comment on her videos, which is something I really am keen on. If anyone comments on my videos, I do try and respond, even if I can't do it straight away, because I think my subscribers are important to me. So the fact that Chloe and Kat both do, that to me alone makes them fantastic. Now, the next channel that I'm going to recommend is someone that's got 1 million subscribers. She's got so many subscribers, and she is one of the co-hosts of Victober, the second co-host that I've mentioned about in as many months. It is Kate from Kate How. She is on Instagram as No Compliments to My Mother, I think that's the one. That's her sort of Instagram channel. But she is absolutely lovely. She has been so inspirational with the Victober. She's been one of the best Victober hosts you could ever imagine. She's commented back if I've commented on her videos. She's been friendly, she's been supportive, she's been inspirational. She is a lovely lady. Now, she has her own sort of health problems, and when I mentioned to her about my chronic pain, she was so supportive and so amazing. And to me, the way she reached out to me, I just think that's so amazing. And she's also friends with Tom, so you got to love her. Let's face it, could I go through a video without mentioning Tom or Simone? Nope. Or Charlie? Again, nope. What am I like, eh? So that leads on to quite a great link, which is the readathons that I've done this month. I've done Victober, my first ever Victober, and it was incredible! I picked up books that I didn't think I would ever read. I've now got a new author that I love already, which is Elizabeth Gaskell. You will obviously already seen my Victober wrap-up that's come up, but it's been brilliant. I've loved every minute of it. I've really enjoyed it more than I ever thought possible, and I am already planning my books for next year because I have just got so many books that I'm just going to be saving for that. But it's inspired me to try loads of different authors, and it's been fantastic. The next one was I Put a Spell on You Readathon, which was hosted by Clint, Nikki and Julie. 3 of my best BookTube friends. 3 of the people that I love the most in all the world. They are absolutely amazing. I was on Nikki's team, Mary Sanderson. This is one of the books I read for it, Prince Caspian, which is in turn one of my favourite books. They inspired me to pick up books that I had left on my shelf. It was a brilliant readathon, and I rave about them to pieces. They're lovely people. But yeah, this is going on one of my top favourite books of the month, Prince Caspian. I love the Narnia series. It is one of the best books ever. Rereading it was absolutely incredible, and I have literally loved it. Can't rave about it enough. But you guys know all about it, so I don't need to go into any more detail. Like I said, this is going to be a very long video, so I'm going to have to cut back a little bit. Couldn't go through a wrap-up video without a favourites video without talking about this. This is Silke's Journey. It's by Heather Morris. It's the next book after Tattooist of Auschwitz, which you guys know is on my top books of the year. This is part fiction, part non-fiction. We all wondered what happened to Silke when any of you have read Tattooist of Auschwitz. And we already wondered what happened to her because when it all ended, she was actually sort of like almost like a prostitute made into a prostitute, not of her choice though, sex slave, whatever, to one of the guards in the prison. And her story really resonated to me because it felt really heartbreaking that she was a teenager and she had to put on this strong face, but she was going through hell on earth. Heather Morris has actually sort of found out some facts about what happened to her after that place closed down. Some of it's fiction, some of it's non-fiction, but it's beautifully written. The things that happened in some of the Russian prisons where she went to, some of the stories that actually happened there are true. So even if they're fiction, the characters are made up, some of the stories are true, and it's heartbreaking to think that just because Auschwitz went down, Russia had their own sort of prisons and their own tortures, and things were really bad, and potentially what Silke went through was really bad. But yes, this is a book that will make you cry, but it's so beautifully written, and I would recommend Heather Morris to everybody. Now the next book was another one that made me cry my eyes out, but I loved it. It's Remembered by Yvonne Batten Felton. This is one of Charlie's books that she lent to me. She's been raving about this book all year and told me she wanted me to read it. And it is amazing. It's about emancipation. It's about the black slavery trade. It's about rape. It's got about 1 million trigger warnings in it, but it is beautifully written, and it's about sisters, and it's about the female rights, and about just sort of, it's just amazing. It really is. It's historical fiction, in my opinion, but it tackles so many hard-hitting issues. Like I said, 1 million trigger warnings, but the writing is absolutely beautiful, and it really reminded me how lucky I am, and how lucky I think we all are these days. Although slavery does still exist, which is quite hard. This is a brilliant book. Definitely recommend it. Couldn't go through my book, and it was one of my first books I read this month, so check it a bit more out in the wrap-up if I get time to record that. The wrap-up's going to be another very long video, so watch out, guys. Sorry about that. Now, the next one is, before I go on to sort of other favourite books that I bought, I wanted to tell you about a favourite TV show that I've watched, The Apprentice. Absolutely love this. I've been watching it since day dot with Chris. We've watched The Apprentice. We've seen The Celebrity Apprentice. I love Alan Sugar. He is, not in a dodgy way, but, you know, he's like so funny. He's a Londoner. He says what he thinks. He's true to himself. He built himself up. This is a man I admire. And the contestants in this are so hilarious. You literally laugh your socks off. And it's brilliant. I love it. It's my cheery up thing that me and Chris watch every week. It makes me laugh. I'm going to slide the books over that I'm going to be telling you about soon. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk to you about was an favourite app that I've downloaded this month. You guys know I've had issues with my anxiety and my depression at the moment. My depression has been, unfortunately, really bad this month because my knee has got declined quite rapidly again, and I'm in a lot of pain. But one of my friends, Callie, recommended to me that I pick up the Happy Not Perfect. It's an app. It's got meditation on it. It's got a nice calming music on it. It's got things you can do when you're anxious that will calm you down. It's got a Be Grateful app, so to remind you of what you've got to be grateful about. It's brilliant. That and the obvious Headspace one are brilliant for helping with my mental health, and they've really helped. So I think for those of you out there that struggle with that, please try this app. It's brilliant. It's free and it's brilliant. Yes, these free apps like this, they try and get you to pay money and buy the premium bit, but you don't need to. To be honest, you can get the most out of it just by doing the other bit. Now, the next thing I want to show you is some books I've got. I can't go into too much detail because the bit I want to show you the most is my gifts. But this first book I bought this month is one of my favourite books I bought. Was The Woman Who Went to Bed for a Year. The lovely Charlotte from from Books and Bargains. Remember her channel name's changed. She told me about this. Could totally relate to that. I'd love to go to bed for a year, and I think sometimes with that, if I didn't have my kids, I probably would. But yeah, she told me about that book and she said it's brilliant, so can't wait to read it. Sue Townsend wrote the Adrian Mole Diaries, and I know she passed away, but I think I can't wait to read this and the start of another. She's got other books apparently. I remember the guy from Bald Book Geek, he's recommended that lady. Couldn't go through her favourites without telling you about this. This is Agnes Grey by Anne Bronte. Chris bought me this with another Anne Bronte book and obviously Adam Kay's next book, which obviously I'll be telling you about soon. But yeah, this is beautiful. I can't wait to read this. I don't think I'm going to be able to save it to Victober, but it's one that I'm going to want to read when I've got a shorter book to read, because it's beautiful. So thank you, Chris, for getting me that. Kind of me getting it, kind of him getting it. The next one is one that Charlie told me to get. She has raved about this book loads. Daphne du Maurier's Rebecca. I don't know if I'm going to like this. Charlie said to try it. Charlie said that it's a Daphne du Maurier book that she's really loved, and to try it. I know quite a few people out there have read it. This is actually the same copy as what Linda World Books has got, and I look forward to trying it. Now, guys, if any of you actually out there haven't read it, can you please let me know, because I would love to buddy read this with someone to read when I eventually read it, because I think that might make it easier to understand. I know the buddy reading books certainly helps. Couldn't get through the month of October without buying an Elizabeth Gaskell book, because like I said, she is one of my favourites. I'm hunting for all her books in the charity shop, but I found this, Cranford. It's a beautiful, beautiful copy. I found it. It's a Penguin English Library version, but it's so, so beautiful. Can you see? It's one of Elizabeth Gaskell's shortest books. It's an affectionate book. It's not necessarily one of the desperate ones I wanted to read, but because it was Elizabeth Gaskell, because it was 25p, I had to pick it up. Now I'm going to talk to you about the gifts that I've been given this month, and I want to thank everyone, because obviously Chris has kind of done the gifts in the fact that he's bought me my books. So thank you, Chris. But my Uncle Michael got me this book. It's a Scott book. You see how beautiful this is? Hardback book. It's got the gold there. My Uncle Michael is one of the loveliest men alive. I know he watches this. I know he'll be embarrassed when I say this, because he's not only lovely, but he's modest. It's a beautiful, beautiful copy. He gave me one book like this, and he gave Charlie another book. But it's a Scott book. I don't know too much. I know it's poetry. I know it's beautiful. I know that I'm holding it close to my heart. It's on my top shelf in my bedroom, because it's one that I'm going to treasure for life, and I will eventually read. But it's beautiful. So thank you, Uncle Michael. Now, the second thing, I got to rave about Tom. You know I love Tom from Tom Reads Things. He is another totally new friend to me. And not new, been friends on here for a while, but he's a friend of mine on BookTube, and I absolutely think he's the bee's knees. Him and his husband Mark are so lovely, and obviously you have to mention Mark. But first of all, he sent me this, which you guys would have seen on my Instagram channel. Very right. This is our buddy read. It's a large print book. He warned me it was going to be a large print, so it makes it a bit longer, but it's not too long though. It's only like 400 pages, but it's long. But we're going to that's to do with our first ever buddy read in December. I can now put that on the buddy read shelf now, because it's ready for me and him to read together. Can't wait to read with Tom. We've got so many books that we've got in common, so this is the first of hopefully many books. But he told me he was sending me this, and so when I received it in the post, I thought that package looks a bit big for just one book. And then he wrapped up another present, and it was like, you guys saw my face on Instagram. I literally screamed the house down when I was opening it, because he gave me a beautiful card. And he gave me David Copperfield, but it's not just David Copperfield. It is one of the most beautiful. It's a Penguins Classics version. It's actually one of the most beautiful books I own. So I've got to now change one of my other videos, because I've got a planned video, but it says about the books that are worth the most value, and this is going to go on it, because it's beautiful. David Copperfield is one of his favourite books, and so he's like his favourite book, so he decided to send it to me, and he wants me to enjoy it. I'll be buddy reading it at some point with Charlie, but thank you, Tom. You're absolutely amazing. Now, like I said, as always when I end my favourites video, I want to say a big thank you to all of you for your support. Stuff's going on here, and over the next coming months you may see me having a bit of a harder time, because my knee is declining rapidly and things are going to get harder and harder. We're waiting to find out if we're going to get a procedure, so I'm not going to get too emotional, but yeah, I really thank you all for all your support. I can't do it all without you. So if you've liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and not subscribed yet, ring on my ding-a-ling. And all of you, I hope you had a fantastic October. Bye bye.